Hi, good evening, guys. It's Rob here for another quick video. I hope you're all keeping well. Yeah, this is just to uh, s- do an entry for Martin Harris, who's hit his 500 subscribers. So very well done, Martin. Yeah, Martin's fairly new one to me, anyway. New VC. I came across his channel through Richard McCook, who'd done an entry for this competition, and so I went over and checked his channel out and subscribed, of course. And yeah, I like what I saw. He seems to be a little bit irreverent, dare I say, and just very upbeat kind of guy. Apparently, he's very eclectic in his taste in terms of his collecting, which is fabulous. Keeps it interesting. Likes his autographs, and by all accounts, also collects obviously not just records but sort of CDs, films. He's into a lot of comedy as well, from what I can see, and yeah, and obviously collecting autographs and so on, which is fantastic. So yeah, plenty to keep us all interested. So I'll be sure to be checking out more of Martin's content. Okay, so he's set us to answer 5 questions. So I'm going to answer those right now. Okay, first question: show your prettiest coloured vinyl. Okay, I'm not really into coloured vinyl. Don't make a thing. I don't deliberately collect records because they're on a specific coloured vinyl or anything like that. If by happy chance I pick them up and they happen to be on coloured vinyl, yeah, so be it. So, but this is I've got a handful of coloured vinyl, but I guess this is probably the prettiest one in inverted commas. This is actually a marble turquoise, but yeah. But I don't think the light's picking that up very well. Apologies for that. There is a kind of marbling effect on there. So yeah. Anyway, I better tell you what the album is, hadn't I? So this is a modern sort of progressive folk band called Circulus, and this is I think it's 2005 or six. This is their album Clocks Are Like People. So if you like your progressive music, or if you're into prog music, particularly older prog music, this is quite authentic. The way that the instrumentation, the way it's put together, and yeah, it's great. I think it was Alan at Static Traveller that showed this, and yeah, so I was yeah, I streamed it and was very impressed and got a copy. So yeah. Okay, so show your favorite comedy or novelty album. There's a lot of comedy and uh, comedy I like. I've got several comedy albums on vinyl. This is probably my favorite one, and certainly back in the day, this was my favorite TV show when I was about 12 years old. This is Not the 9 O'Clock News. So the wonderful Mel Smith, Griff Rhys Jones, Pamela Stevenson, and the amazing Rowan Atkinson. Yeah, so this was kind of this was kind of like their first sort of springboard into the big time for all of these guys. And yeah, just right at the beginning of sort of all that alternative kind of comedy. Um, just the brilliant, brilliant, you know, um, successors to the Python team. I mean, just fantastic comedy here. You've got all those ridiculous songs like Confrontation song about the Third World War. Gerald the Gorilla, just wonderful, so funny. The Bouncing Song. What else have we got on here? So yeah, speaking of Monty Python, it's got the General Synod's Life of Python, which is a wonderful kind of turning the whole Life of Brian thing on its head. And when he says the the one of you the JC, yeah, John Cleese, making out that John Cleese is a messiah. That was just ridiculous. So anyway, but there you go. So that's my choice of comedy album. Not the 9 o'clock news. Okay, show your favorite signed album or item. Okay, this is kind of quite. I've got one or two signed bits and pieces, but this is probably the most special because it's quite personal. So this is an artist by the name of Katie Spencer, and this is her album Weather Beaten. She's an artist from the northeast of England, folk singer and guitar player, very accomplished, writes all her own material. Great, very much in the sort of vein of, I suppose, I hate making comparisons with artists like this, but I guess with the sort of, it comes with the sensibility of maybe somebody like Joni Mitchell, or Bert Jansch, Roy Harper, sort of certainly alternative tunings and so on going on, which make the song very, very interesting, and just lovely delivery, wonderful vocals, very evocative. Yeah, I'd never heard of her before, and a good friend of mine who I was at school with, who's a huge record collector. He's not a member of the vinyl community. He doesn't make his own videos, but he does show records that he gets on Facebook and social media and so on. But he just sent this to me out of the blue, and yeah, there was a little note from it saying, "This is a gift from your good friend. We hope you enjoy the music, and cheers, Casey." And basically, the connection here is that Pete actually works with the artist's father, and he was actually asked to listen to an acetate before this was actually pressed, to give his opinion. So yeah, but this is quite a limited pressing, so it's I'm sure this will become quite collectible, but just wonderful gift and wonderful thing to be sent, and yeah, so that was very special. Okay, show your favorite film or TV soundtrack. I probably would have shown Quadrophenia and The Wicker Man, because I love both of those, both the films and the soundtrack. And I believe Good, the Bad and the Ugly is also being shown. So I thought I'd show this because this is another favourite of mine, by Ennio Morricone, and this is the first two in the Dollars trilogy. This is Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More soundtrack. Yeah, just wonderful stuff there from the 60s. Just superb orchestration and just unforgettable melodies and tunes from Morricone. He's got this unique talent of whatever soundtrack he does to the film, it just evokes the narrative of the film and the atmosphere of the film perfectly, and you can't really have one without the other. So yeah, superb stuff. Okay, and the last question: show your favourite film and TV show. Okay, well, my favourite film of all time is probably the one that I've watched more than anything else, and this is With Nail and I. So this is 1986 film. Came out on Handmade Films, which was, I believe, George Harrison's film company. And this is superb. This was, I believe, a very early, if not first, film performance for Richard E. Grant, who plays the Withnail character, and his sidekick in this, Paul McGann, um, who, amongst other things, have played Doctor Who for a while here in the UK. And then also Richard Griffiths, who is a great actor, who did a series called Pie in the Sky, about a chef who's an investigator, and was also appeared in the Harry Potter movies. And he actually lived in my village where I used to live in Bearley, my wife, and yeah, I met him a couple of times because he used to open a fete that they used to have on the green to raise funds for the local church roof and so on, which is lovely, you know. And yeah, so lovely guy. Sadly, no longer with us. But this is just a hilarious, hilarious film if you've never seen it. Semi-autobiographical, I believe, written and directed by a guy called Bruce Robinson. Sort of about experiences of being a sort of writer and dramatist in the late 60s. And so these characters are basically out of work actors who live in this kind of flat in Camden that's sort of rat infested, and there's sort of various characters coming in and out, you know, sort of smoking the old weed and so on, and they decide to go off into the country to have a break from the city, and they Withnail arranges it for them to go to visit Richard Griffiths character, who's he plays a character called Monty, or Uncle Monty, and it's just absolutely hilarious. I know all the lines inside and out. Just so funny. Those of you who have seen this film just know how hilariously funny it is. Probably less known in the US and beyond, but beyond the UK. But yeah, certainly a favourite of mine. Wonderful stuff. Okay, and favourite TV show. There's a lot of TV shows that I love, but this one is one that I do return to every now and again, just because it's just so weird and surreal. This is The Prisoner. So this is 1967. This was originally came out, starring Patrick McGoohan, who's an actor who played Danger Man before starring in this. And it's basically, if for those who aren't familiar with this, he's a secret agent, government agent, that resigns from his position, and he's kidnapped one night. And when he wakes up, he finds himself on an island, along with a load of other people who have similarly been abducted, and he discovers that there's this whole community on this island, but they're all basically have stripped of their identity, and they're all given numbers, and his number is number 6. And the premise of the story is basically him just trying to find out who is number 1. i.e. the big chief, the big cheese, I guess so that he can find out exactly why he was sent there. But the irony is that they're actually trying to find out why he resigned, and there's various. He undertakes various kind of interrogation and so on, and tests that he has to go through. Each episode is very individual, but they're also linked. So they're individual stories, but there is a thread running through it, of course. And obviously, I'm not going to tell you the ending, but the last episode of this, for those who know this, it's notoriously ambiguous, and it's debated. It's been hotly debated over the years as to what it's actually all about. And the same could be said for most of this series. To be honest, it's very 60s, very late 60s, kind of weird, slightly psychedelic. Um, yeah, it's just great, and it's sort of dark as well. There's sort of dark elements of comedy in it. And it's just great. It's just a unique series, and there was nothing else like it. And yeah, so well worth seeing if you haven't if you've never seen that. Okay, so that's it, guys. Martin, many congratulations again on your 500 subs. Really, really great achievement. All the best to everybody who's entering this competition, and yeah. Thanks for doing this, Martin, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers, all the best, guys. Bye bye.